The penalty phase of Aileen Wuornos' first murder trial begins on January 29, 1992.
Testimony continues as jurors are being asked to recommend a sentence for Aileen Wuornos. They convicted Wuornos on one count of murder Monday night. Prosecutors are asking for the death penalty.
In the Florida system, the first phase is the guilt phase, and then the second phase is the sentencing phase.
During the sentencing phase of a murder trial, the prosecution and defense may bring in character witnesses to support whether the defendant deserves either the death penalty or life in prison.
If you are trying to get ordinary people to essentially authorize somebody's execution, they need to believe that that person is different. If that person is considered alien to them, it makes it much, much easier to sentence them to death. But when you see that this is a real human being, then that's a person who deserves a chance. That's the job of the defense lawyer, and that didn't happen in this case.
Aileen had so few people who could testify in a positive fashion to her character, her nature, her personality, to any of the things that you would want testified to if you were standing trial for murder.
We were all subpoenaed to Florida. Aileen's attorney wanted me to come down there to say, yeah, Aileen was beaten and all these stories when we were kids. And I said, yeah, but I'm gonna let them also know. I don't know if she was really raped at all. And yes, she was a prostitute when we were kids. And so they decided not to let me go in court.
Aileen Wuornos is the only person who testified in her own defense. No one else.
Things were not looking good for Aileen. But in the middle of the penalty phase, we get this bombshell.
Wuornos claims investigators bribed a witness and that her lesbian lover, Ty Moore, testified only to make money off her life story.
She's been offered like $500,000 and might be a multimillionaire after this is over. And she's just keeping her mouth shut because she wants money. They have to have a conviction in order to get this money.
So it turns out, in the middle of the investigation, some of these investigators were talking to Hollywood producers about selling Aileen's story. And the investigators had offered to loop Tyra Moore into the deal.
According to court documents, there were movie deals made. However, Tyra Moore's involvement is never substantiated.
Several of the investigators admitted they had hired an attorney to represent them for possible film rights. I was pissed, because what's the first thing you think the defense attorneys were going to ask? How much money were you getting paid for this? How much money are you getting to twist this investigation? I wanted no part of that.
The investigators involved in the alleged Hollywood deals later received demotions. But the movie deal claims have no impact on the trial.
This should have brought about a mistrial.